Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to the ranch. I'm Dr. Lee, and as you can see, it is another beautiful day in South Texas, and we are looking forward to a beautiful Mother's Day weekend as well, and we hope you are too. Hope you get to spend it with your mom. If not, hope you get to call your mom. And if you are a mom, I hope you get to be with your kids and let them spoil you just a little bit. Hope the weather's been good where you are. We've been blessed around here over the last week to 10 days. We've had about 5 inches of rain, and we were already into a pretty significant drought. So that was very, very welcome, not only to us, but especially to the animals out here, as all the yellow grasses have turned green and grown about twice the height they were 2 weeks ago. So the ranch is looking good and the animals are all smiling. And yes, we are still dealing with the hogs. My wife did come up to me and said something like, "Honey, are you sure you want to start out your Mother's Day video with hogs gone wild?" And I looked at her and I thought, ooh, I hadn't thought about that yet. I said, "Do you think that's a bad idea?" She said, "That's your channel, do what you want to do." So anyway, I went ahead and threw it in there because I kind of enjoyed that just a little bit. And I just want you all to know there's no correlation here between hogs and moms, okay? Nothing intended. It was just an unhappy accident, as are most of my videos. So forgive me if you will, nothing intended there. But like I said, the hogs are getting kind of bad. This is the way I take my walks now in the evening. I like to take about a 45-minute walk every evening before the sun goes down, and having to carry a rifle with me now, as we do have a lot of mama hogs with babies, and they can be a little bit temperamental. But not to worry, we still do have Operator Drewski and his night vision out there taking care of the problems, and he's doing a pretty good job. This next picture I'll show you was taken by one of our game cameras, an infrared game camera that caught the reflection of the eyes of 2 hogs that are coming straight toward Drew in the middle of the night. And what you don't realize here is the camera uses infrared, so we're only seeing infrared light bounce back, where Drew's using night vision. And basically what he's seeing is just like what's behind us right here. He's seeing the hogs. He's seeing 2 big hogs coming straight at him. But not to worry, they were taken care of promptly there. But anyway, I thought that was kind of a freaky picture, so I thought I'd throw it in there. But let's get on to the reason for this video. And once again, thank you so much for stopping by and spending a little time with me today. Always appreciate that so much. It's good to have you here, and hope you guys are all doing well. Leave me some comments. Just let me know how you're doing. All right? Okay, good deal. We'll get on with our Mother's Day video now, and I've got the story of 8 mothers, and you're probably thinking, holy cow, how long is this video going to be? But most of these stories are either 1 or 2 paragraphs long. They're all short. They're my favorite mother stories. So I hope you appreciate them as well. So with no further ado, here we go. Mom number 1. And this is in her words. "I was rushed to the emergency room with complications from my high-risk pregnancy. After weeks of mandated bed rest in the hospital, I found myself suffering from a profound and unfamiliar sadness, depression. One day, my nurse brought a surprise to my room, a little tiny newborn baby named James. James' mom, who also experienced a high-risk pregnancy and had been in the hospital for weeks, sent me her precious little healthy son for me to hold, along with an encouraging note. The note read, 'This is the reason you are here in the hospital.' 3 decades later, my heart is still full of gratitude for baby James and the kindness his mom showed, as I am now 30 years later, thankful for my own healthy son." Well, bless your heart, mom number 1. And like I said, there's 8 stories here. Some of them are sweet like that. Some of them are silly and goofy. And some of them will hit you right square in the heart. Mom number 2. Upon attempting to prepare my 7-year-old daughter for a new baby we were going to have in a few months, she repeatedly stated, "Mom, no boys in our house." Soon the big day arrived. My daughter came into the hospital room and I told her the little baby was a boy and that she had a new baby brother. And I asked her, "What are we going to do?" She placed both her hands on her hips and without missing a beat, she said, "Well, I guess we'll have to love the little thing." Yeah, kids, I swear. Mom number 3. See, I told you some of them were goofy. Mom number 3. I like this one. We lived in a crowded inner city area alongside a major highway when I was a kid. All 7 of us kids and my single mom. It was mid-January and a huge snowstorm hit. The highways came to a complete stop. As the darkness of night approached, we realized there were several cars stuck on the road with people and families trapped inside. Mom told me and my brother to go get those people and bring them to our home. We shared sleeping bags, blankets, and pillows that we had, and in the morning, Mom made pots of coffee, hot chocolate, and shared what little food we had with all of these total strangers. Everyone showed such great gratitude. Mom's act of giving and humanity was so profound to me. She always taught us about kindness and the selflessness of helping others. Good for you, Mom number 3. Mom number 4. This is her words. "I was chosen to be your mama," I told my young daughter as she watched her older brothers playing. She looked at me tearfully and she asked, "Why couldn't I grow in your tummy like my brothers?" "Well," I said, choking back my own tears, "the doctor said I couldn't grow babies in my tummy anymore, so your daddy and I decided to adopt a baby, and that baby was you." She quietly said, "Well then, Mom." I held my breath, awaiting the expected difficult question I knew she would ask about where she came from. And then she quietly finished her question with, "May I have some ice cream?" "Yes, you certainly may," I said, thanking God for her innocence. Mom number 5. The day I was dreading had finally arrived. It was inevitable. I had seen it coming but chose to ignore it for as long as possible. My very capable, intelligent mom had started forgetting to pay her bills, and it was time for me to take over her finances. As I looked through her wallet, I made a remarkable discovery. Tucked away in a little tiny compartment were 4 ragged and tattered Mother's Day poems I'd written for her as a young boy back in the 1960s. She had saved and cherished those simple little gifts for over 50 years. Yeah. 35 years ago, Mom number 6. 35 years ago, when my mom was 22, she became a widow and a mother within the same month. The life of which she had always dreamed was stolen from her in a heartbeat. She tried to move on with her new life, but she was so young, so poor, and so scared. She gave me to my father's family to be raised in the United States. Some have called her weak. Others have called her selfish. I could be mad. I could be bitter. Instead, I'm grateful for the life I have and to have a mother who sacrificed our relationship to give me a chance at a much better life. She was courageous and kind. She was my mother. Don't judge. Okay, number 7. This is getting tough for a sentimental old fool here. Mom number 7. One day, a long time ago, a little boy came home from school with the letter for his mom to read. It was from his teacher. He asked his mom what that letter said. His mom looked at him and she said, "Son, it says, your son is a genius. School is too small for him and it doesn't have good enough teachers to train him. Please train him yourself." Fortunately, his mom was a teacher and she educated him through all of his developing educational days. And evidently she did a pretty good job. This young man filed over 1,000 patents in his lifetime on his successful inventions. After his mom passed away, he was going through her things and he found that letter and he opened it up to read it once again. Much to his surprise, the actual message written on the letter read like this: "Your son is mentally deficient. He can no longer attend our school. He is expelled." The man became very emotional as he read this letter, and he decided to go make an entry in his diary. The entry he made in his diary read like this: "Thomas Alva Edison was a mentally deficient child whose mother turned him into the genius of the century." Didn't see that one coming, did you? Mother number 8, my mama. My mother was pretty much like most of your moms. Kind and loving. She was just mom. She was always there. We were poor, but we never realized it because of mom. We were working class, but never realized it because of mom. I'm sure she and my dad had fights and argued because they were humans, but we never knew it because she was mom. She sheltered my 2 sisters and I from the evils of the world, yet she raised us wisely. She taught us compassion and kindness. She taught us about Jesus. My mom had that 6th sense that all moms seem to have. I could come home from school and she could tell when I had something in my head that was really bothering me. Later in my life, she told me, she said, "I could always tell when you had something on your mind." I worked in the afternoon at a grocery store, and then I'd come home after that. And she said, when you got home from work, she said, you just kind of mill around the house. She said, you wouldn't go out and work on your old hot rod. You wouldn't grab your guitar and your amp and go play in somebody's garage somewhere around town with your buddies. She said, you would follow me around like a puppy. And she said, sooner or later, she said, I'd just ask you, how things went today, Lee. And then I'd dump on her. But moms just have that way. They can tell with one look when there's something going on with their kids. And you all know exactly what I'm talking about. Mom loved us with a mother's love. She fed us, she bathed us, she dressed us, she disciplined us. She helped us with her homework, on and on and on, day in and day out. But most of all, she just loved us. She loved us with a graceful love that only mothers know. I've seen it in my wife's eyes. I've seen it in my grandmother's eyes as they've looked on their children, my parents and my aunts and uncles. Seen it in my mother-in-law's eyes as she looked on her children. I've seen it in my daughter-in-law's eyes as they watch my grandbabies. But most off, I've seen it in my wife's eyes as she's raised our children over the last 35 years. And it's a deep love. It's an unexplainable love that I don't understand, and I don't think any men do. I think it's been in her heart, and all of you mothers, I think it's been in your heart too, since long before the days that you had a baby in your belly. And it's one of those loves that won't ever leave you, and no one can ever take it away from you. It's yours because you're mom. To all you moms out there, I hope you have a wonderful weekend this weekend. I hope you have a wonderful Mother's Day. I hope you realize how special your role is in the life of every person that has walked the face of this earth. You have been blessed and you've been challenged with a responsibility greater than anyone else's. And regardless of how you feel about it, you've done a wonderful job. Despite all the frustrations and trials that arise in our lives, you are and you will always be mom. and we all love you. Well, folks, that's it from out here on the ranch today. Some silliness and some sweetness and some little bit of heartbreak thrown in there too. But it's a lot to think about, a lot to digest in such a short time. But anyway, as you all know, I thank you so much for stopping by here. Do something wonderful for your mom or for your kids or for someone else this weekend. And I want you to always know I love you. God bless you all. I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye-bye now. So what you doing there, Al?
Neutering a dog, Dad.
All right. Who's gonna learn you?
That's a mistake.